how are you now? There's something about making a video in a car that makes me seem like a madman. I don't know if it's a video I've seen in the past or what exactly it is, but this is, me after about a month off of making these videos, and I want to keep doing it. So I'm just gonna keep going. How are you now? This is what I want to talk about today. This is an exercise in free thought. The wandering aspect is on hold today, but I will take a wander after this video. A few things to attend to while my car is warming up here. So what I want to talk about is outsider culture, just in general, what that means. I feel like to live within the boundaries of what we consider a sane culture today is absolute insanity. There's no excuse for people, apart from them being completely insane or them knowingly deceiving themselves, for them to be living in today's society openly, without resistance is another thing. And I feel like the without resistance aspect is very important, because this is just a thing. It's like one of these slogans that people always fall for, so hardcore. Well, your silence is violence. Your silence is violence. And in a way, they are right. I don't necessarily agree with all the causes which that has been tied to, but I think that like your compliance in everyday life, just when you see things that you're like, this is out of my control, but acting as a witness and as a part of the environment, and choosing to not resist, choosing to not attach yourself to that thing and create change is, that is true complicity. Like, that is a failure on the part of the dissident, on the part of the outsider, on the part of the person that feels on the inside as though something is wrong on the outside. And a lot of the time people have a tendency to put the blame on themselves, and to a certain extent we can always work on ourselves, but on the other hand, there is the fact of the external world. This is something on which all of our lives hinge, the structure in which we find ourselves. This is why life is different in places like Canada than places like Africa, or we know that it's different because people come here seeking a better life, and the people leave here seeking their homeland. Like, we know that things are different here. Things can be different everywhere. So if you see something that you want to be different, you have to do something about it. And if you don't, then you're just as complicit as the enemy, pretty much. In there, they just oh, I don't like the way that this is, but whatever. What's the difference between, oh, I don't like the way this, oh, I do like the way this is, and it's an insane thing. Like, you're both acting on behalf of something insane. I feel like there's such an excuse in the form of lack of identity, and that's not to say that something hasn't been earned, but it's something has been denied. And this is an issue with a lot of Westerners going into Eastern thought without any real guidance, except for the internet and YouTube and these algorithms, that just feed you. This is what Eastern culture is. This is what Buddhism is. This is what it means to have no self. We are like, I can say, as a white guy, I'm walking around and it's like, oh, they say, oh, white people are responsible for this, but like, I know that like white people aren't all responsible for it, and I can't be responsible for it, because what do you mean by I? Like, there is no I, man. I'm just like a part of this thing, and it's like, there's no free will. Like, I don't have the choice. And it's like, when you see somebody acting completely like autonomously, they will look insane. And I think that most people that like experience clarity in their thought, like, do end up going insane, because they're fixed in this insane world. a lot of the time you see these people, you know, having a hard time in life, and they're like, oh, I need to go out into nature. I need to go out into nature, and that's what they do. And as soon as they get there, it's like all their problems are immediately solved. You know, everything is just as it should be, and they adjust to that feeling. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna. And even speaking from personal experience, I'm gonna take that back with me. I'm gonna take that back from the mountains and integrate it into my normal life now. It takes like, you know, 3 or 4 days before just the manic pace of everyday life has caught up with you. And there's really no solution except to resist. And if you aren't resisting actively, if you aren't trying to find a community of people that share your ideals, then you're a failure on behalf of like the life that you've been given. If you intend to raise this world up, you know, whatever that means to you, if you want to make somebody laugh, if you want to make somebody like you go like, yeah man, he did what he wanted, like, if you want to leave a positive impression on this world, you know, there's even this sense of like, oh, I want to leave a beautiful corpse. If you want to actually leave a positive impression on this world, then you have to do something, or you will just disappear like the dust that you think you are. Like, I don't believe that anyone is as worthless as so many people make themselves out to be. Even like, we have this inner voice, and when we see something wrong, like, we have to do something about it. This is just like litter in the park sort of shit, you know? Like, you walk around a beautiful park and you see a bunch of litter, and it's like, oh, like, why is that there? And it's like, well, the city should clean it up. And it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing about it? Like, you don't reach out to the city. Like, you don't pick it up yourself. Like, this is like, and who the fuck is it that's littering? Like, why not stake that place out, for Christ's sake, you know? Like, I don't know, I'm just, like, spitting ideas out, but, like, we were just so complicit, and, like, truly outsider culture, to me, is incomplicit, like, just, it's not going, I can't fucking pronounce the word, it's just not going along with the fucking status quo. It's like, this is a respect that I have for homosexuals, but not necessarily, you know, the really effeminate, like TV homosexuals, but like people that, you know, they're traversing outside of the boundaries of, and you know, these days, like, whatever, you're not traversing shit. Like, maybe you're traversing if you're not completely pink washed, but this is what I mean. Like, this is why the boundaries keep getting pushed further and further and further, because people do have an impulse to be an outsider in a world full of insane people. Like, they need to find something else. You know, they want to find a path to sanity. And I personally, like, you know, I think that the things that we've held on to the longest have been held on to for a long time for a reason. The things which we consider progressive aren't new. You know, they aren't, and they're touted as these, oh, it's 2021, is like a radical new idea. Well, we've seen pretty much every form of like progressive politics practice in the past, and you see how it turns out. These things aren't new. They've been rejected in the past for a reason. You know, like, being an outsider in today's culture means, you know, being a man standing among ruins, like being a person, like, understanding historical context, the worlds which came before. Like, if you are just a product of your immediate environment in the year 2021, you know, you're a sick case. You have to be, and you probably think that it's your fault. You probably think that, oh, I'm not eating enough. Oh, like, I'm not eating the right food. I'm not getting enough sleep. It's like, you go outside, like, what is your life? There's concrete everywhere. There's engines humming. Like, where is the peace? You know, where do you have the time in your day when it's so regimented? And if you're still in that world where your time is regimented, like, the fucking things that this world is putting you through, you know, all fucking day. I don't understand how people aren't waking up, but, you know, I shouldn't say that they aren't. Like, a lot of people are. This has been an exercise in free thought. Just, again, I urge you, like, if you feel like you want to just divert from normality, just do it. Just do it in whatever fucking way you can. If you want to just be an artist, just be an artist. If you want to just start fucking talking to yourself in the middle of the street, you know, with signs or some podium. Just fucking do it. Like, somebody do something, you know? That's everything.